Hello everyone and welcome to Best Side Cycling. Today I wanted to walk you through my ride that I did in late April. That was from Duvall to Index. It was an 80-mile round trip with about 4,000 feet of elevation. It was a really awesome day for riding with some of my coworkers, and we're starting here out in Duvall and we're heading out here on this road west, and it's pretty busy on this road. So definitely if you're starting here, do pay heed. There's a lot of traffic, but just the views, just so open and so much to see. Really looking forward to it. And as the title suggests, I did go through another spill during this ride, but we'll get more to it as we get to that part of the ride. But so far, right now, we're just sort of heading our way towards Monroe, and we'll be taking a lot of big roads like this. And it's pretty flat for these portions. And as mentioned, riding with my coworkers, a lot of them are stronger than me, especially on the flats. So I'm gonna be drafting them a lot of the time, but the footage I'm featuring today will just be me sort of riding and filming the surrounding sites. So after riding here, we head north, and then we sort of go through this area that's a lot more shaded, a lot more farmland. Really nice because it's sort of this road that just doesn't have a lot of traffic. And if you're doing rides, bigger rides eventually, like the Seattle to Portland or the Redmond to Bellingham and back, or the RSVP. Definitely there's big sections of the route that will feel like this. Certainly there are parts that have a ton of traffic, but there's also the ones like this where you're probably just going to encounter some rollers, some big roads, but it definitely helps when you have a group. Just being able to draft in front of behind someone, you can easily save 30% of your energy, and then you rotate and it just feels like you have a whole fresh legs to work with. So as we're riding here today, it was just really awesome. I really do enjoy these open sites, just being around so much green and scenery. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please roll over the like button and subscribe. We're going to be covering tons of local Seattle cycling content, so just stay tuned for more. But yeah, as we keep riding here, I have some footage missing, but we make it through over to Sultan, and then we stopped over at the bakery, and then we just kept on going into sort of one of the more sketchy parts of the ride, which is actually using Highway 2. So Highway 2 is this highway that does go all the way, and it does feature a lot of shoulder, but unfortunately what happened to me was that I was riding along and in our group sort of in front, and there just happened to be a big uneven crack in the middle of the pavement, and it wasn't even going sort of straight along with the shoulder. It was sort of turning into the road. So all I remember was that I just sort of was riding, and then I caught something, and then I just held onto my bars tight, and I fell onto my side, and I didn't really know what happened at the time. Definitely day of, all I felt like was a lot of road rash, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to keep on going. But after I stood up, I realized that seemed like the majority of the damage. So I was able to keep on going, which is actually a first for me. I usually have stopped after encountering something. But it turns out afterwards, the day after, my neck got super duper stiff, and that's when I actually took a look at my helmet and realized that I also hit my head. But as you can see from the helmet here, it's really, the dent's not too bad. I really think it was just sort of like a quick sort of whiplash just at the end of falling down, but I wasn't going all too fast, and my neck's already all better now, and I really didn't feel anything that day. So it just goes to show how much helmets really work. And in terms of the road rash, it was pretty surface level. So something I learned that day also is that it was pretty uncomfortable getting over to Index, but once I got there and we got some band-aids and stuff and wrapped it up, it actually felt almost normal. So it was just the chafing that was giving me so much bother. So if you ever encounter or go out on these long rides, definitely bring some like ace bandages or things in case of the same. You can probably get through some of this. So all that to say is that I also learned a couple of things from that experience, being one of the first times where I was able to still finish the ride, and this spill happened basically within sort of 38 miles. So it was sort of daunting because I still had like half the ride to go. But definitely, I would say compared to what happened in January, this sort of blew by really quick. And I think one of the main reasons was that I held on to my bars. So I think one of the key mistakes I made before was when I was tipping over, I sort of stuck my hand out and I landed on pretty much directly on my hand. But in this case, because it was sort of a freak accident in a way, as it's riding straight and you don't really expect there's a giant crack in the middle of the road. I tried to stay up, couldn't do it, but being tucked in, holding your bars, at least I was able to sort of roll a bit and land on the sort of my side. The larger surface areas of your body meant meant to take things like that. So definitely watch out for that next time. Don't stick out your hands in front of you, that'll break your collarbone, or out to the side, that'll break your wrists. So that's what I learned, and it was really a good lesson. So, and second, of course, is to wear your helmet. I've never actually damaged any of my helmets before. This is the first time. So after this, even though I know it doesn't look so bad, I definitely went ahead and replaced the helmet. Giro actually has a 30% discount if you tell them about it. I think it's like once a year, so it's not a bad deal. You just get another helmet, and then yeah, I already have that replacement in riding. After a week or so, my stiff neck basically subsided, and I'm basically at 100% already. So a lot different from when I landed on my hand. And overall, definitely so thankful that even though this happened on the shoulder of a busy highway, from testimony of the riders behind me, I managed to stay firmly in the shoulder and out of car's way, and the nearest car near to us did actually stop when they saw that as well. But at the end of the day, I would say I definitely got off easy and got to feel a little bit more like a rider in the peloton. Going on with our ride though, we end up at Gold Bar, where we sort of go through some back roads where there's some pretty solid and decent climbs, but all on this sort of pretty isolated road. So it was really nice environment, just enjoying sort of the backdrop of trees and mountains all around as we start to approach and finally, after some good old climbing, make it to Index. And you're greeted right away with this awesome river view and just sights of mountains all around you, as we're not all too far from Leavenworth, Stephen Pass, and the sorts. And in the middle of town, there was a really nice little general store where we got all our supplies, food, and my medical stuff. And we were all sorted out. And yeah, from there, honestly, I would say having it treated properly with sort of the adrenaline and not the stiffness of the neck not kicked in yet, I felt pretty good going back. I just been riding with the group, just hanging on as we made our way, surely but safely, all the way back to Duvall. So definitely would recommend this route. Definitely pay heed to Highway 2. Moreover, from what I said in terms of those uneven pavements, there are parts of the road that don't have a shoulder, like on some of the bridges, so you really have to watch out for traffic, as it is just a freeway. But it definitely can be workable at parts. And yeah, come out, check out the sites, let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next video.